Hey guys, Benjamin, and welcome to another RPG Make tutorial. It's been a while, but then again, it's been a while for each of them, right? Well, nowadays. Before it wasn't a while. Sometimes they were like once a week. But I've taken a break from RPG Maker for a while, and that includes kind of game making. Hopefully I get into the swing of things with this, because technically that actually did help me last time in getting back into RPG making my actual games. But enough about that. Today we're talking about Deathblock. Deathblock is an item from Dokapon Kingdom, which protects, well in this case, an ally from death once. But less of a revival skill and more like a death protection skill, which may sound exactly the same, but it's not. Basically you keep your buffs and debuffs that occurred during the battle, which sometimes would be the case for things like this and sometimes wouldn't. I can't think of an example that wouldn't. I'm not sure what Phoenix Ring does. I'm pretty sure it keeps your buffs, but I am not an expert in that topic. So we're gonna get right into it because this is actually a very straightforward and simple one. So let's get into it. And you know exactly what we're starting off with because plugin time. No tips and tricks for this one, it's fairly simple. I did use 2 forum posts to help me, but that will be linked in the description. But no tips and tricks for this one, necessarily at least. No specific one, I guess. But as for our plugins here, all we need is auto passive states and the only buff and states core. Technically you don't necessarily need auto passive states, but in this case it's just because we're using it to apply the states onto every single character at the start, or permanently, because our state that we're going to be using is actually going to be a check-in state, less of a state that needs to be active all the time, but rather a state just happens to be in battle. So it's up to you what you want to do here, but in this case we're using auto passive states. In that case, let's go on to the scripting, which will be a very quick and easy section. Alright, on to the scripting, which is very straightforward, but I do have to explain some things because we're dealing with stuff that I have not discussed before in tutorials. I think. Do not quote me on that. Actually, we got a few places to go through first. Let's talk about skills first because I just want you to attack this 500 damage. That'll be coming from demonstration, but that's a minor topic. We're going to our items. This is surprisingly the first item that I'm creating for tutorials in this particular project. But our item is Deathblock. Protects a party member from death, removed upon use. It's not a consumable, so we're saying it's no. Regular item, scope none. This is the part we need to talk about. So, you're supposed to be using never because it's not supposed to be usable or like active or like. In this case, I guess usable is still the right word. It's just not consumable. But we're using battle screen just so I can show you how many death blocks I have in the demonstration. But usually we'll put never, and I have checked, and they both work exactly as intended. So it still works even if it's not a battle screen item, because when we're checking if we had this item in our inventory. Going on to the actual state itself, we have check block, which is death block, but we're checking for if we have death block. Oh, I forgot my thought here. I'll explain this. Nothing to do with here though. Priority, it doesn't really matter. No removal because auto passive states. So again, it's whatever state you want it to be. You don't have to remove it, you can remove it, it's whatever. Custom React Effect is the name of the game here, and it's the only name we'll be using for this game. If the value is greater than 0, in this case, we're going to be checking if the party member, which is under the effect of the state, is being attacked, then this will be checking how much damage that attack will be doing. And if the value happens to be greater than 0, then that passes the first check, because if it's less than 0, it'll be healing, so yeah. We don't want that to happen. Technically this last thing would prevent that, so you might not necessarily need this, but I did this first, so just in case. And we're also going to have a check for if this is an HP effect, so if it does damage or does healing to HP in some sort of way, this will be checking that. And the last part is if the value is greater or equal to target HP. This is the important one. If it's, say, less than your HP, so if it's 500 damage attack and the user has 1300 attack, If it's 500 attack and the user has 1300 HP, it won't be obviously killing, so this effect won't be activated. However, on the opposite end, if it's 1300 damage attack and the user has 500 HP, then it obviously passes this check, so we can go on to the next line. Don't forget the I forgot what that's called. It's not a bracket. It's not a semicolon. I forgot what it's called. I was about to say don't forget what it's called. I forgot what it's called. Anyways, well, we're gonna focus on this. If game party dot num items, which is number of items. Okay, here's a complicated part. $, data items, which will be checking within the database. I believe, don't quote me on that, I haven't experienced much with this. I believe it's something like check database of items. I'm turn this to 1, and we're going to be seeing that later on as well. And if we have greater than 0 of this item, 1 is our Deathblock ID. You should adjust the ID to however you see fit. Fun fact, I actually was using I was trying out a different script before, but it didn't actually work for some reason, which is strange. Anyways, nothing else besides this except this little weird bracket. So I'm going to call it the weird bracket now. I actually don't know what that's called. We're going to be setting the value equal to 0 because since we had that item and the party member is about to die, we don't want them to die, so we're going to protect against that attack. Now, we're going to have game party, similar to the top here. Gain item. Stay with me for a second. $, data items, 1 of course, for the ID. -1. So we're gonna be losing that item because that's kind of what happens. You lose the item. In Dokapon, you have like a very limited inventory, so each item counts as 1 slot individually. So if you had 5 death blocks, it'd be 5 individual slots in your inventory. Which is not how normal RPG Maker works, but I think you can do stuff like that. That's not the point here. The point here is, what was the point of me saying that? I don't know. And I think about it, it's just gonna subtract 1, because yeah, we don't need it, or it's used up basically. And we're putting animation on the target. Why the target? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I mentioned this a few times, but custom react effect basically treats the user and the target as opposites. The user will actually be the one attacking, and the target being attacked. The person being attacked is actually the target because it's the target of the attack. So we're using target here because we're going to play a shield animation, pick 3, power up 3, onto the person being attacked, the party member being attacked. They're about to die. Other than that, you just need some more of these closing weird brackets here, and that'll be actually it for custom react effect. Not much to say about this, though some of it did have to take a little bit of explaining. But yes, I believe that is all. Oh, I should probably mention this. I'm probably gonna try to put this in this or in a comment so it's easier to copy paste. I haven't been doing that at all, but hopefully I remember and hopefully it works. Anyways, going on to some demonstration now. Alright, here in the demonstration, as you can see, I have 1,350 HP. The number isn't really the important part, but as I mentioned earlier, attack is 500, and the next 2 attacks won't kill. I'm just here to exemplify, or that's not the word here. I'm just here to demonstrate, because it's a demonstration, that the first 2 won't kill and also won't remove me of. That reminds me, Deathblock, which is what we're here to talk about. We have 3 Deathblocks here, don't mind the icon, it's not necessarily, that's a weird way of putting it. That's how the icon was arranged in the icon set, it's strange. But I reduced my the item count from 99 to 3 because it's battle test, so you get 99, that's not the point. But we're gonna take these 2 hits. And as you can see in our inventory, we still have 3, which is perfectly fine. We can also use them, but again, I'm just here to show it. You're not supposed to really see it. I mean, it'd be nice to see just so you can have like a reminder that you have death blocks, because otherwise the player might forget. At the same time, The player can waste a turn by just using it, which is strange. Anyways, we're gonna take these 2 hits here, but we miraculously live. That's very nice. However, actually, yeah, we lost 2, so we're down to 1. However, as you may expect, since we only have 1, and there's 2 of them, and they don't seem to miss for some reason, because they apparently have perfect accuracy. We have become deceased. What a sad way to go. Not having death blocks and being destroyed by 2 rogues that are from the default RPG Maker enemies. That sounds super... I don't know what the word superficial means, and I'm not sure if it fits here. That's not really the point here. Anyways, it works. I'd like to say I think that works, based on what we just showed. I'll be singing at the outro. I will see you there. Hey guys, welcome to the outro. Thank you all so much for watching. I don't know why, but it just dawned upon me that it would be so much easier if people didn't type it out themselves. That just makes me sound very... not... I don't know how you say it. What would it say about that? I haven't been thinking about this the entire time. People would... Well, I guess in the beginning that wouldn't apply because it's just doing... First tutorial would not apply to that because it didn't have to do anything with scripts. And I've only did scripts since like maybe 30 or 20 tutorial. See, it's easier to count now because I numbered all of them. If I didn't number all of them, then it would be harder to count. It honestly helps me more than the viewer, I believe. We're on the tutorial video, that's not really the point here. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna hopefully remember to post that script in the comment if I can. If I can't, you will not see it for at least 12 hours after the video's released. I'm not gonna promise that, but I wrote it down on a text document, hopefully I remember. Other than that, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's pretty chill, simple tutorial. I don't think I'd elaborate too much there. Next tutorial, well actually next month's my birthday. I'm recording this on July 15th at 10:31 p.m. Next month's my birthday. I don't think I'm gonna have one before my birthday, that's not likely. It's gonna have to be after, but yeah, I don't think there's gonna be an RPG Maker related video for my birthday. Probably Parsekai related video. But yeah, that'll be all. So see you guys, and stay safe. Have fun RPG making. Am I saying that now? I kind of want to say that now. Sounds like a good thing to say. Have fun RPG making. See you guys, stay safe. Bye.